All right, so it's time for another edition of the Beggar's Bowl. And I'm ahead today. It's Saturday, so I'm getting this recorded a day early and I'll publish it tomorrow. And I am excited for what I have to talk about today. I hope you'll enjoy it. So, again, we're going to, as we do in the Beggar's Bowl, we talk about economics um, and this new thing that's coming that's going to completely revolutionize the world. So, um, all right. We're talking about AI again today. AI has a lot of downsides, a lot of things that are frightening a lot of frightening people, uh, and AI will be very disruptive to everything. But just within the last couple of days, I saw something. I got a glimmer of something that I feel will be very beneficial about what's coming, and it will seem paradoxical, antithetical to um, many of the concerns. Okay, so I have to lay a little groundwork. First of all, I'll say that I'm looking at this as an author who wants people to find the things that I write. And so you can understand what some of my concerns would be about AI. Um, so the internet is already a big haystack, okay? And to have anything that you want to get into the world, it's like being a needle in the middle of the haystack. And so it's created a world where everyone is competing with everybody. And part of the problem is the world of SEO. So, the truth is that say you're an amazing artist. Well, like you don't only have to be an amazing artist, you have to we thought we got away from the gatekeepers, but we didn't. What we discovered is that there are new gatekeepers, and they are those that run the platforms. So Google, YouTube, same company, um, and the others, Amazon. Okay, so the truth is we have new gatekeepers, and it's almost harder. And so what ends up happening, which of course has happened through all history, is that who ends up being on the first page of Google, who ends up being um, on the first page of Amazon for a particular genre of book, is the people who have worked very hard at being at the top. That doesn't mean they're necessarily the best. That doesn't mean that they're so it's like, and it's created this world where it's like, for any one search term, um, there's one winner and you know tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of losers, maybe millions. So this is very discouraging for anybody that produces anything, not just artists and writers, but people who produce actual products, right? So because again, people are buying things off of Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. Well, and it's the same old problem that people had when they wanted to get a spot on the shelf um, at Walmart or one of the stores, is there's only so much shelf space. And now comes the world of AI. AI takes that haystack and it makes it exponentially bigger, especially for people creating content. As we look with ChatGPT and these programs that are coming out that can do things so fast and basically allow you to cheat. And so, what is my glimmer that I see, my glimmer of light? Well, what I see is this. If anybody wants to do a work in the world, from now on, people will realize this sooner or later. I don't know how soon. They're going to realize that we are going to have to return to an older business model, to an older sociological model. We are going to have to move further away from the world of spam, perhaps even further away from the world of advertising in a sense. Is that right? I'm not sure about the advertising part. I'm going to have to mull on that. So think of it this way. If you are a needle in the haystack, but you sincerely have something to say, Now, first of all, you can choose a couple of other options. You can fight to be at the top of that massive haystack. So, um, and really what I think that'll take is more ingenious cheating, because that's kind of what SEO specialists do. I heard an SEO guy say once, he said it's like, he had a program and someone was like, was this black hat or white hat SEO? And he says white hat doesn't work. And so he was saying it's black hat, because black hat's the only thing that really works. Right. So who gets to the top? The bigger cheats. So that's one option. Cheat and cheat better. Be more sly. But you got to realize if you do that, you're fighting against the world. And not just the world of individuals, but the world of bots. So who are you fighting to get to the top page of Google? Not just every person out there doing SEO, but every single artificial intelligence, which they can multiply themselves and throw stuff at the wall, 1,000 times faster than you can, right? So you're fighting. Um, you can do that. You can join the game, which means that you jump into AI, you create those thousands of books, and you try to make it a numbers game, right? So I'm going to put more crap out than anybody else in the hopes that some of it will sell, some of it will make it to the top, some of it will be seen. Oh, that sounds miserable. Um, and that shows it's like the only reason you do that is because you don't really have something you want to say, right? So years ago, I realized that the vast majority of books being produced were copies of something else. So what AI is really good at is copying. And so yeah, you can do that, right? And and then you have another option. Another option is that you can drop out of the game. Okay, it's like you just back up and you say, it's too much. This is a very viable option. It's like, because if you're really in it to just make a living, well then, it's a model that's a race to the bottom. It's like I see all these people, who are throwing books, as many as they can out, churning them out using Chat GPT, and they're tricking Amazon, and it's like, right, so that is an absolute race to the bottom, because there's other people doing the same. Right. Okay. So what's the other model that I see? Well, what I see is that what this is going to create is it's going to create a world where people begin to return to an old model. And what's the old model? The old model was that you sold the things that you did, you interacted, you had an economy with individuals. Okay, so you had friendships, you created trust with actual people. So say, for example, I write, which I do, I write. So, and I write books or content. Okay, so my new model becomes, instead of trying to get at the top of the search engine, be seen and have the internet work for me. What we're going to see more and more is the internet won't work for people. Okay, for the vast majority of people, it won't benefit them in the way they think. So what that means is that I'm going to have to go and grab my needle that's in the haystack. And it's still going to be in the haystack. I'm still going to produce stuff that's out there on the internet, you know, but I'm going to have to take that needle and I'm going to have to take it to an individual and I'm going to have to say, here, look at this, you know. And then even to do that, I may have to create a friendship first, build trust with an individual, get to know them, be um, care about them and their life for a while before I can say, here, look at this. And then they're going to look at it and be like, and first of all, say it's a book, they're going to have to be willing to spend the time to read it. That's a big investment that I'm asking, which means I'm going to have to, it's that old book, The Speed of Trust, you know, so I'm going to grow at the speed that I'm able to interact with actual people, which means I'm going to have to get out of um, the spam model and connect with people. Okay. Now I may be connecting through the internet. I may be connecting, through face-to-face interaction, probably some of both, you know, um, but it's going to take individual interaction. And so what I see is that this AI model is going to cause people uh, to lose trust uh, in the internet's ability to um, to do the work for them. And I have the feeling that the brands that are going to last are going to be the ones that have figured out how to connect with individuals. And this is the Mr. Rogers model. So even those who are doing stuff on the internet, and in the new world that's coming of AI, they're going to be, the mindset is the individual. So Mr. Rogers, as he looked at the camera, would think about one child. So that's the idea. And his life was like that. So when he would go somewhere, he didn't try to get away from people. In fact, the people that his managers and stuff hated this because he would get, you've seen the recent movie that came out with Tom Hanks. He would get caught up talking to people. So this is actually very encouraging to me because what we're creating is a world of emptiness, a world of nothingness, a world where we can faster and faster create copies, empty copies of of the truly great works of all time. And so all the more there's a place for that needle in the haystack, that one authentic person, that one person who would write, even if he wrote for one person, because he can't not write. That artist who would do her art, even if, even when she knows that there's a million phonies, because she can't not write. And I'll save this for another time, but all the more it's important. We have to go on this journey. That's why this channel is called The Trackless Path. We have to go on that journey where we ask our soul questions, where we step out in faith into the unknown and face our demons and and be changed into something new, because the new thing that the universe wants to create in you and me is what we really are. And once we become what we really are, we become precious, like a shining diamond in the haystack. Okay, so that's the message for today's Beggar's Bowl. I always try to do 5 minutes, but I'm at 15 already. Um, I hope you've stuck with me. I hope someone has. Okay, so in these episodes, I ask for help. So this is when I beg. And what I'm really doing, and this was helpful for me because I realized this week, because I was realizing, well, if I already got food, clothing, shelter, all the things that, it's like I got my van to live in or whatever, then it's like, how do I dare ask? And I realized, oh, it's like the guy that's playing the guitar on the street corner. He may already have food taken care of for this week, but the hat is out, saying like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm playing the song, and if you like it, I'd love it if you can drop 50 cents in my hat. And once a week, I draw attention to the hat. So in the description, there's a way for you to drop 50 cents into my hat. And for anybody that does that, I thank you, because uh, the more that people do, the more that I'll be able to do this as the main thing that I do in my life. The more focus I can bring to it, the more energy that I can bring to it, because that's what money does. Is it's just an accelerant. It just opens up the avenue for you to do the thing that you love more passionately, more focusedly, more efficiently. Um, and so the hat's out. And so in the description, there will be links to my PayPal and my Venmo accounts. And eventually, I'll probably get set up with Patreon or something like that. Um, but for now, that's what I'm doing. And the only other thing I would say is I would ask you for the help of, if you think that this is a needle in the haystack, this program that I do, would you please consider taking that needle and take it to somebody that you trust, who you think would appreciate the things that I'm sharing, and put that needle in front of their face and say, hey, check this out. So that's a way of saying to actually share this with somebody, right? So, and I think that's the way that this will grow. So, God bless y'all. Thanks for listening. I hope this helps you in navigating your own journey as we go into this new world. And all right, goodbye.